For unit 9.2. For unit 9.2, okay, what we're going to do for 9.2 is to convert quadratic functions from standard form to vertex form. Okay, so from standard form to vertex form. Okay, vertex form is also known as descriptive form. You will see it written either way. Okay, so I can't just tell you it's always called one thing, because on different tests, sometimes they call it descriptive form, sometimes they call it vertex form. Okay, it's the same thing, they're synonymous. So, a standard form equation looks like y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. That is in standard form. Okay, so we're still dealing with technically parabola equations. A vertex form equation, or descriptive form, these are the ones that when we're graphing at least, we like better. Those are written as y equals, a times x minus h squared plus k. Y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. So what we're going to be doing is converting from one form to the other. Okay, there are some steps that you do need to know. These steps sound a little bit complicated, but they're really not that bad. Okay, once we get into them, you'll see that it's really not that bad. Okay, steps. Step 1 is to move the c value, move c to other side. And you'll understand these a lot better once we start doing some examples. So move the c value to the other side. Step 2 is to factor out.
Is this going from standard to?
Going from standard to descriptive form, yes. Factor out GCF number. Okay, factor out the GCF number. Step 3 is complete the square. We have done that before. Complete the square. Step 4 is to add to both sides. I'm going to write a little note here to ourselves. Remember to multiply. And you will see where that makes sense in just a little bit, hopefully. Remember to multiply. Step 5 is to write as a binomial squared. And step 6 is to bring c back. So it looks like a lot of steps. It's really not that bad once we get into it. So when we're writing them all out, it seems kind of like a lot. It seems, yeah, it's a little more difficult looking when we first look at it. So if I give the equation y equals x squared plus 6x minus 12. Y equals x squared plus 6x minus 12. So my first step was to move the c to the other side. So what is the c value here? 12. So first thing we're going to do is move it to the other side. So this is going to become a y plus 12. Okay, equals, and we're still going to have x squared plus 6x. Then for number 2, it says factor out GCF number. Is there any number that I could take out in common between x squared and 6x? No. Now, notice I'm only looking for the number. Okay, I'm not factoring out any x's. If you have a number in front, that's when we're going to do that. Okay, but not for this example just yet. Then complete the square. Do you guys remember, how do I complete the square? I'm basically looking for a number here. Do you guys remember the equation for complete the square?
Oh, yeah.
Not add 0.
Square it and then do something.
Take the middle number middle number divided by 2 and square that number. So the middle number divided by 2 and square it. So if I take this middle number, this is going to be 6 over 2 equals 3, and 3 squared gives us what? 9. So that means to this side, you will add 9. So that was my next step. Add to both sides. So this side I added 9. What do I have to do to the left side?
Add 9.
Also add 9. Then write it as a binomial square. So clean this up. So this becomes y plus 21 equals, how do I write this as a binomial squared? I want a perfect square. This is what? X plus what? Squared.
Wouldn't it be minus 9?
Nope, because I added to this side.
Oh, no.
X plus what squared gives you x squared plus 6x plus 9. Remember the trick here? Whatever that middle number divided by 2 was, that's what goes in here. X plus 3. So technically, if I factor this, x squared plus 6x plus 9, that would factor to be x plus 3 and another x plus 3. Okay, you can do the factoring. It would be x plus 3 times x plus 3. The kind of shortcut way that I remember this is whatever that middle number was divided by 2, whatever got squared also goes right there. So it's kind of an easier way to do it, so you don't have to actually do the factoring. And then my last step is to bring the c back. So put it back in a y equals equation. So y equals, now this c goes at the end. Okay, it does not get combined at all with anything that's in those parentheses. So this will become a minus 21. So technically, if I was talking about a parabola, could you find the vertex and line of symmetry here?
Yes.
You could. Okay, vertex would be -3, -21. Line of symmetry would be x equals -3. Questions on how I did that? Not too bad, hopefully.
Wait, so don't graph it?
No, none of these you're going to have to graph. Okay, some of them might ask you to name the vertex or identify the vertex or line of symmetry, but you're not actually going to have to graph these. Okay, this is more of just practicing going between the two forms.
How many examples are
5. Okay, try another one for number 2. I want you to do the same thing. Rewrite this from standard form to descriptive form. X squared minus 12x plus 4. X squared minus 12x plus 4. So we're just practicing going from one form to the other form. So what's my first step? What do I have to do first?
Move the c value.
Move the c value. So it becomes y minus 4 equals x squared minus 12x. This one, is there anything to take out as a GCF on the right side? No. So we created that space. Now I need to complete the square. What is the number that I'm going to add?
36.
Okay, -12 divided by 2 is your -6. And that squared gives you what?
36.
Plus 36. We're going to add 36 to both sides. Okay, if you add 36 to both sides, it's going to give you y plus 32 equals, how do I write this as a binomial squared? This is x minus 6, exactly. Whatever was in there to be squared is whatever's going to go inside your parentheses. Always. Then my last step is what?
Bring C.
Move back the c. So y equals x minus 6 squared minus 32. That's your answer. Huh?
That seems better.
It's fairly, right, once you've done it like once or twice, it's not too bad. You just, like the first or second time we do it, you kind of forget how. Okay, but it's not too bad once you kind of remember how we did it. Okay, anyone have questions so far? Now, we're going to step it up just a little bit, make it just a little bit more difficult. Okay,
I would do that.
y equals 2x squared minus 4x plus 5. Y equals 2x squared minus 4x plus 5. Now, the initial reaction for people is whenever they see a number in front, you want to factor first. That is not what you should do first. What is the first step supposed to be?
Subtract that.
Move the c value, right. If you factored out a 2, you're going to end up with some weird fraction here, 5 over 2. You don't want that. Okay, so first we're going to move the 5. So y minus 5 equals,
This is the exact same thing besides the doing the GCF this time.
right, it's the exact same thing. We're just going to take out GCF at the beginning. So if I take out my GCF, I still have y minus 5 equals You're just taking out the number, okay? I don't want you to take out an x. So 2 multiplied by, left behind is x squared minus 2x. I want you to leave that space because we still are going to complete the square. So to complete the square, you're going to take middle number divided by 2 and square it. So what's negative 2 divided by 2? Negative 1 and squared. So what am I adding to this side?
1.
A plus 1. What do I add to the other side?
2.
A 2. Okay? This is where on the steps when I told you add to both sides, remember to multiply. If I took something out, you have to multiply it back on the left side. Because really, if I multiplied this back through, I'd be adding 2. So on the left side, we're adding 2. So you do have to multiply by whatever coefficient, whatever number I took out in the front.
Why can't you take out an x? Why can't it be 2x?
Okay, you could, but like my instructions said, factor out the GCF number. Okay, I don't want the x part. I just want the number.
Alright.
Now, if I rewrite this, this is going to be y minus 3, equals 2 times what goes in my parentheses, squared. X minus 1, remember it comes from that middle, okay, that middle number divided by 2. And then finally, move your 3 over, so y equals, the 2 is still on the outside, x minus 1 squared plus 3. So this 2 just tells you what?
Multiply.
Then it'd be skinny. Okay, is it fine for a parabola
Yes.
to have a number in front? Totally fine. Okay, totally fine. Someone grab that. Okay. Next one,
What room were we in?
725.
Five.
Student speaking.
Yeah.
Okay, next one for number 4. Okay, for number 4, I want you to try y equals 5x squared minus 20x plus 10.
There was some lady in school. She wanted to talk to you, but she said, "Are you busy?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Okay. Y equals 5x squared minus 20x plus 10.
Now I'm all behind.
5x squared minus 20x plus 10. So, first thing you want to do, a lot of people are going to want to try to take out the GCF of 5. You do not do that yet. Make sure you're writing these down. What is my first step going to be?
Move the C.
Sorry, it was not intended for you. It was at her. Sorry, my bad. That was a bad toss. Y minus 10 equals 5x squared minus 20x. I was trying to avoid hitting Jarrett's head, which I did. Missed. Good morning. Sorry. Okay, now what's my next step?
That's child abuse.
Take out the GCF of the number. So y minus 10 equals, take out a 5, left behind is what? X squared
Minus 20.
minus 4x. We took out that 5. Complete your square. So take the middle number divided by 2 and square it. So negative 2 squared. So what am I going to add to the right side?
4.
Plus 4. What do I add to the left side?
4.
Plus 20. You have to remember the number out front. So it's really plus 20. Then if I clean this up, that gives you y plus 10 equals 5 times x. What goes inside that parentheses?
4.
Minus 2. And then finally, move your 10 back. So y equals 5 times x minus 2 squared minus 10. That is your completed equation.
I think I understand it.
Okay, we have one more because it's just a little bit different. Just one more. Almost done. Okay, and I want you guys to try to do this one on your own, okay? So for example number 5, for this one I'm actually asking you to put into vertex form,
And then solve.
and state vertex.
Yeah.
Okay, so state the vertex of y equals negative 4x squared plus 16x minus 7. Y equals negative 4x squared plus 16x minus 7. Okay, I want you guys to try this one on your own. Okay, try this one on your own to start with.
Oh.
Negative 4x squared plus 16x minus 7.
Being the best.
So, first things first, we first want to move this 7. So, y plus 7 equals, what can you factor out here? Negative 4. We want to take out a negative and a 4. So, negative 4 left behind will be x squared. What else?
Negative 16. Or negative
Minus 4x. Leave your space because we're going to want to fill in that space. Okay, take the middle number divided by 2 and square it. So negative 2 squared. So what am I adding to the right side? A plus 4. What do I add to the left side?
16.
A negative 16. Negative 4 times 4 gives you a negative 16. When you clean this up, we get y minus 9 equals
That's
negative 4 times what? What is my binomial squared? X minus 2. And then finally move the 9 back. So y equals negative 4 times x minus 2 squared plus 9. So what is my vertex of this parabola?
2, negative 2.
It's going up.
Positive 2, 9. Okay, change, keep.
And it's
If
back.
I asked you to sketch this, yes, this would be going down and it would be skinny. Whole numbers are skinny. Okay, that is your vertex. Any questions? Okay, homework for this is going to be worksheet 2. You're doing numbers 1 through 15 odd. Okay, so the first one, worksheet 1, you're doing evens. Worksheet 2, you are doing odds. Evens for worksheet 1, odds for worksheet 2.